The following video is a gentle movement activity designed to help you relax and feel good. If there are any movements or positions that you cannot comfortably do, please modify the action to fit your body. Listen to your body and don't do any action if you feel discomfort or pain. Please consult with your healthcare team before participating in this or any form of exercise.
Hi, I'm Tammy Bernard, Integrative Therapies practitioner and yoga therapist at UF Health Shands Arts and Medicine. And I'd like to invite you to join me in a mindful movement yoga practice today. And this practice is appropriate for anybody who desires to relieve a little muscular tension, to de-escalate stress, and to feel a greater sense of calm and peace in the body and mind. The only consideration is to always honor your limits. So as you're going through the practice, as we know, every day in the body is completely different. If you're recovering from an injury or an illness, we always want to act skillfully and wisely, allowing the movement to be just right for us in every given moment. So before we begin, or as we begin, I invite you to notice where the body is making contact with the chair, the support beneath you. And if you're comfortable allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze, we'll move into a few moments of centering and grounding practice. This practice of arriving. So allowing your attention, which is generally externally focused, to turn toward and tune in to the inner landscape of this body in this moment. And as you arrive, perhaps simply by noticing the quality of the breath. Not changing the breath, but as you breathe in and out through the nostrils, perhaps noticing the subtle sensations and tones and textures of breath flowing in and breath flowing out. As you notice the breath, it's almost like noticing a seascape, the breath like waves rolling into the shore of the body. Feeling how the in-breath rolls in, it crests and peaks, and then that breath again rolls out of the body. As if we're noticing the seascape within, sometimes the waves of the breath, just like the waves on an ocean, can be shallow and choppy. Other times the breath can be deep and rolling. So we bring that quality of noticing without judgment, the natural wave-like rhythm of breath in this moment. And as you connect with breath, allowing your attention again to expand to noticing where there's a sense of rootedness and groundedness in the body. Perhaps feeling the large muscles of the buttock and thighs releasing and relaxing with each exhalation into the support beneath you. Perhaps noticing the legs left and right and the feet. Feeling that sense of connectedness of the body and the mind in this moment. And then returning to the breath. And if you choose, as we begin the practice, another way to connect and ground more deeply with ourselves is through touch. So you might want to let a hand perhaps rest on the abdomen, a hand on the chest. And then pouring the breath in a little more fully. So feeling that wave of breath, maybe as the breath moves in, the hand on the belly expands, and then as the breath continues, the hand on the chest rises. As you exhale, releasing that breath slowly from top to middle to bottom. Again, we're never forcing the breath. We're not trying to change anything. It's purely an invitation. And again, just the noticing, the allowing. And then letting about 3 or 4 more breaths be the object of your attention. And then we're just going to bring the hands together. So just noticing the hands, the felt sense of one hand caressing the other. A bit of a mindfulness practice here, especially some of us do a lot of hand washing. So just feeling the caress of the hands, these partners, these amazing body parts. And then I invite you, almost like you're stoking the fire of your life force, just rubbing the hands together, beginning to feel maybe a little warmth. And then slowly, we're just going to let the hands open. So like you're opening the binding of a book, just another opportunity to just noticing all the peaks and valleys of the hands, the fingers, and then allowing the hands just to lightly cradle the eyes. And continuing with the breath and just imagining that the hands are offering a bit of nourishment to the eyes, to the face, inviting the face with each exhalation to soften under your own touch. Maybe the hands separating a bit more, cradling the face. Again, just feeling into the hinge of the jaw, inviting all of the little muscles just to surrender ever so slightly. As we continue this act of self-care, which is truly the heart of what yoga is, we're just going to turn the palms to face us, crossing the wrists. And now we're just going to get into that little place, the junction where the neck and the shoulders intersect. Just a little bit of touch here, staying present with the breath. Noticing how this feels, noticing where you might soften and loosen a bit under your own touch. Hands eventually sliding down the arms, left and right. We're going to come right into what's known as the seated mountain posture. So before we begin to bring movement in, I would just like to spend a moment talking about core support and good postural alignment. So just a few key adjustments to support you in having the best possible engagement of the abdominal muscles to support you in your practice. So I invite you, if you're comfortable, just walking forward a little bit on your chair and making sure that both feet are firmly planted on the ground. If you need to place a blanket or something beneath you to allow that to happen. And then I want you to just notice maybe placing a hand on the low back and a hand on the low belly. And if you'll notice my sacral area and my low back, there's just a little bit of a tilt here. So as I turn my abs on, as I bring in good core engagement, I'm just going to slide back on my sit bones so my tailbone tucks slightly. The hand on my belly is going to cue me in, almost like I'm trying to go into a little bit of a crunch with the rectus abdominis, the muscles on the side, but I'm not. I'm placing my hand now at the bottom of the ribs to draw the ribs in. And I'm coming into a much more engaged core abdominal practice. And when we bring that little bit of core in, it's almost like we're bringing in this sense of strength that supports the body and feeling more safe and at ease. So just noticing how this feels, maybe firing up your glutes a little bit as you squeeze the glutes and almost like you're dropping the tailbone. Maybe feeling how the abdominal muscles, like you're going into a crunch, but you're really not. And just pausing here for a few breaths. This time I want you to imagine, and you can cross your arms over your rib cage. Imagine as you breathe in that your ribs are opening left and right to the sides, almost like the gills of a fish. Continuing to keep the abs turned on, taking a few more breaths here. And so again, when you're ready, releasing the arms back to the thighs, keeping the abs turned on, perhaps the glutes slightly engaged. Bring your attention to the top of the canister of the torso and see if you can just release the shoulders. allowing the shoulders to relax and to be held by the support. And then from here, we're just going to release the arms back down. We're coming back to the seated mountain, and we'll do a few sequences of sun breaths. So on your next inhalation, you're just going to let the arms rise up with the breath, left and right, arms coming all the way overhead. As you exhale, turning the palms back out, arms like the wings of a bird in flight. Again, keeping the abdominal muscles engaged as you rise up with the breath through the arms. On the out breath, again, releasing. We'll do this 2 more times. And again, if you want to keep a soft gaze, if that feels right, or even the eyes closed as you rise up again with the arms, we're just going to pause here. Shoulders resting on the top of the canister, abdominal muscles engaged. We're going to do a little lateral stretch, left and right, like we're reaching into a tree that has some beautiful fruit that we're plucking. Keeping your awareness in the body, core is engaged. Continuing to breathe through the movement. And then eventually we're going to come back to stillness, palms together, exhale, right down to the sternum. Pause, notice, interweaving the fingers. We're just going to press out, scoop and hollow. Again, let that crunch get a little more intense here. And then on an in-breath, we're coming into a bit of an extension, arms rising up. Exhale, arms flowing down. Pausing, noticing, resting, and seated mountain. One more in-breath, allowing the arms to rise up. Exhale, palms to the heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, coming into what's known as temple position as we inhale the arms up. Again, if you're feeling any discomfort or a shoulder that maybe needs a little tenderness, modifying, making it just what you need. You can do this with an arm down if that's right action. As you exhale, you're slowly letting the arms arc over to the left, pressing through the sit bone, abs turned on. The gaze may or may not follow to the right. And breathing, feeling the whole of you, feeling the ways in which the center of the abdomen is like the hub of the body, providing a bit of core strength. And then eventually arms rising back up with the breath. Exhaling, hands to heart. One more time, scoop and hollow, pressing out. Hands rising up again with the breath. A little bit of an extended spine, keeping the chin slightly tucked. Exhale. Full circle back to the mountain. Arriving here, noticing the breath. Noticing any echoes of energy or ripples of sensation. Seated mountain presence. One more time, abs turned on. Tucking that tailbone slightly, glutes fired up. On an in-breath, arms are going to rise up. Palms meeting in the middle, exhale to heart. Interlace the fingers, inhale. Arms rising up with the breath. Exhaling into crescent moon. And again, feeling the abdominal muscles turned on, feeling the core of the body, almost like the hub of a wheel, and breathing here. Arms rising up with the breath. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, pressing out, coming into that crunch. Inhale and exhale. Pausing, noticing. So we're just going to do a little bit of what I call wrist wringing. We're just going to shake it out. Sometimes there's a wisdom when we're feeling stress, tension, gunked up in the musculature, We can just let it go. So just feeling the hands now as the object of attention. As we continue to work with letting the stress go, we're just going to draw the arm bones up with a breath towards the ear. Find that just right place for you today. Pausing here. Exhale with a sigh. Release the shoulders back and down. And one more time. Inhale, scrunching and holding. Pausing. And let that stress go with the breath. Noticing. We'll do this one final time, so making it good. The body likes to hear itself sigh, and it stimulates the relaxation response. So we're inhaling the shoulders up, holding, and exhale, let it go. Letting your hands rest on the thighs. Again, tuning into any echoes of sensation. Noticing any qualities of any softening or loosening that may be happening. So we're going to go into a spinal rotation now. So we're just going to come back to releasing the arms alongside the body, come back to the seated mountain, come back to tucking the tailbone, turning the abs on. We're bringing that right hand to the mid-low back, right about where your kidney is, and just a little touch. It's almost like your hand saying, I got your back. I got my back here. See if you can let that part of your body soften a bit into your support. And then letting that hand settle in. We're going to inhale the left arm up. Pause. Exhale. We're letting the arm moving be the object of our attention as it crosses the body. Fingers pressing into the shoulder. Inhale, a little bit of lengthening through the central axis of the spine, and exhale, a gentle rotation to that just right place, and breathing here. Again, can you feel the support beneath you, almost like you're pressing in through your feet, your sit bones, supporting a bit of lengthening through the central axis of the spine, taking a few breaths here. On your next exhalation, again, the witnessing of the arm, returning, coming back to the mountain, closing your eyes, shining that light of awareness on the inner landscape, noticing the right hemisphere of the body, the left, and then almost like you're breathing right up the spinal column from the pelvic floor. Take a few mindful breaths as if you're imagining you're breathing right up the spine through the center of the canister. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Coming back with that soft gaze, bringing that left hand to the mid-low back, and just a little touch here, just inviting that part of the body to soften a bit. Letting that hand settle in as you inhale that right arm up. Exhale, the witnessing. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, a gentle rotation to the left. Abs turned on, shoulders are relaxed and down, sitting with a bit of dignity. Taking a few breaths here. So spinal rotations are very nourishing for all the organs of the torso. It's like we're getting a little expunging action so that new nutrients and fluids can come back into the body. After your next in-breath, exhale, the witnessing, the returning to the mountain, closing your eyes, and receiving again, the benefits of your good attention, receiving the benefits of the body being breathed. And with a soft gaze, we're going to let the hands rest on the thighs. And we're going into a wide angle now. Again, if this feels right for you, then moving into this. If not, then making the movements that are appropriate for you today. So as we go into this, we're going to extend the left leg out, turning the foot on a slight diagonal, and the right leg, we're going to let the knee line up over the ankle. Both feet are pointing in the same direction and the heels are intersecting. Again, we're feeling our sit bones. We're doing that little bit of a pelvic tuck, and then we're lifting up a little bit of a crunch. Gaze is over the right shoulder as we inhale the arms up. And we're coming right into Warrior Two. So again, if there's something going on that's making you feel a little tender today, then let the practice be exactly what you need it to be. We call this right relationship, honoring ourselves, not pushing, not plowing over ourselves. As you breathe here, coming into Warrior Two, we'll do a bit of a flow sequence. So as you exhale, the head and hands are going to return back on the same plane, hands together. As you inhale, come back into Warrior Two. As you exhale, you're turning that right hand up, left hand coming to the thigh, and you're going into this flowing reverse warrior. Come back up on an in-breath. Exhale, come into diagonal warrior. Flowing up again with the breath. Pausing, noticing. We'll do this sequence one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale into reverse warrior. Rise up with your breath. Exhale. And returning, pausing. So we'll release the arms down. We're going to heel toe the feet in. We're going to let the feet still be a little wider. Before we go to the other side, we're going to have a little interlude. So again, tailbone tucks, rectus abdominis engaged, bottom of the ribs drawn in. And we're bringing the arms up into what we call cactus arms, also known as goddess or sun god. As you exhale, we're just going to hinge forward with the abs turned on, forearms coming together. As you inhale, flowing open, chin slightly tucked, opening the thoracic back. Exhale, come forward. Again, inhale. We'll do this one more time. Pausing. Noticing, release the arms back down, come back to the seated mountain. Closing your eyes, tuning in. Noticing how you feel now. And maybe acknowledging yourself for carving out this time to take care. And we know when we take this time to nourish and replenish our own spirit and body, it can only positively ripple out to influence everyone around us. As you stay connected to breath, we're going into that wide angle. Hands resting on the thighs. We're setting up the feet in that just right way for us. Again, torso straight up and down, shoulders are relaxed. Left knee is over the left ankle, arms coming up when we're ready. And just roll the shoulders down, gazing over the fingertips, abs turned on. Again, feeling that little crunch like it's the center of the wheel, and the extremities of the body are like the spokes. Exhaling, hands to heart. Returning on an in-breath. Exhale into reverse warrior. And rising up again with the breath. Exhale into diagonal. And returning, pausing, Noticing. We'll do this one more time in silence. Warrior two. Bringing the feet in one more time. We're going to drop back into goddess or sun god. See if you can roll the shoulders up and back and down, creating a little space through the chest. Palms facing in. Again, abs are turned on. And then just a little bit of exploration here, just noticing how you want to move. Noticing the breath, supporting the movement. Come back to center. We're just going to exhale, release the arms, heel toe the feet in. Pausing here. Back to the seated mountain posture. And as we draw our practice to a close, maybe once again letting the hands rest comfortably on the thighs. Come back to reconnecting with the breath. And imagining almost like through the lens of a camera, you're looking at yourself through the mind's eye. Looking at yourself with what I'm going to call a sense of kind eyes watching. With each breath, imagining that kind eyes are watching. And as you breathe in, bringing that sense of kindness and gentleness into the body. Breathing in gentleness and kindness and care for this precious life. And if you choose on the out breath, extending that quality of gentleness and kindness out to others. Breathing in affection. Breathing in compassion. Exhale, sending that quality out to others. It's almost like one breath for me and this precious life, and one breath out to everyone else. And again, if you choose, as we draw this to a close, maybe a hand or two resting on the torso, feeling your own gentle touch, feeling the rising and falling of breath here. Maybe both hands resting again on the chest, or palms together. And maybe just dropping the chin, getting a little stretch in the back of the neck and dropping the chin, honoring the wisdom of the heart. And I thank you for your good attention and intention to show up for your own care.